So, got Diana there with her weapon, which is fine. It works. But I want to see how posable she is. See if there's any real articulation in this or if they cheaped out on that too. Ooh, I just critted a 20. Hey guys, welcome back to the YKB, Why Keep the Box Collecting, where we immediately destroy the value of our figures and free them from their plastic and cardboard prisons. I got you something nice today. It's D&D Diana. I have no idea who this character is, don't really care, it looks cool. So, let's take it to the table and see if I'm still excited for it when I get there. Alright, so we got Diana over here. That Ollie's $9 price point. And the figure. The box. I like how they did the look. With the what was it, 90s, 80s drawing. Shoot, I don't even know. Could be sooner. A rendering of the figure. Some more. Figures in the line, the dice. The legalese. Why does this feel like you can scratch this off? I feel like you can scratch that off. You can't. But the box itself looks fine. I wish this was an open concept. But this was back in those plastic-free days that are absolutely terrible. I try to forget. But here at the YKB, we don't care about boxes, so let's open her up. Let's see if she can work on my He-Man / Thor shelf. There she is. For a very simple concept, I think it kind of hits. It's a lot of bare plastic, which kind of works. This is going on basically my Barbarian shelf, which is kind of like, I don't know, the Space Warrior shelf. I call it Space Warrior because Thor is in there. So it's like Thor and He-Man, which is kind of like Space Barbarians. I think it fits the line. I'm gonna bring up a couple of the Thor and the He-Man figures to see if it can match it perfectly. But as I said before, this is just throw some kids into the Warrior shelf thing. I think it looks good. I think it works. The face itself is probably a little bit too pretty to use as a warrior, quote unquote. I don't know if you put some lashes on if you're a warrior, but this is a different time. So, it works. So here's all three of them. I have them on pegs. I have them on GI Joe pegs because it seems to work the best. They look good. Um, basically just have them over here so you can see how all of them look with each other and how the heights compare. I think it's pretty good height wise. I never seen this show though, so that might be important. But I think it's serviceable. They're gonna work for what I'm gonna use them for anyway. But let's get them off. Go back to the review. So for the most part, the gold works. It shines. It seems like a little bit plastic. It seems like a little bit cheaper paint, but it works. The design matches and fit. The paint looks pretty decent on the bottom for the boots. It looks like all they did was really paint it red. The issue I have is the bare plastic skin looks absolutely terrible, at least on this one. It might just be my copy, but you can see I have where the plastic mold was taken off of it. There's a lot of swirling. It really just doesn't. It looks cheap. So that's just kind of what I gotta say, which is a little bit disappointing. And the knees don't even match. Wish it was double jointed, but I don't know. This is from a couple years ago, so they only recently started giving women double jointed. And I still don't think they give kids double jointed. But let's check out the accessories. Alright, Diana's accessories are... Ooh, I just critted a 20. Her staff, and her staff while moving. It works. I really do like that lately people have been using the staff motion stuff, which is really cool, especially for like toy photography. But this is just some bare plastic stuff. There's really no paint on it. Just green stick. Green stick with effects. It's fine. Can't complain. And they have another pair of dice. Ooh, 14. Not bad. It works. So, got Diana there with her weapon, which is fine. It works. But I want to see how posable she is. See if there's any real articulation in this, or if they cheaped out on that too. Let's take that out. So, obviously, it's a single jointed elbow. Don't like that. Wrist is not a hinge, which kind of sucks. Even if they only gave us one, it would have been nice to have a hinge up and down. The core can't bend in that much. That's as much as she moves, as far back as she goes. She can almost do a split, but not really. She can kick up that high. Can't kick her butt. Standard ankle rockers. Which kind of get hindered by the wrap. That can move all the way around. She can do a T-pose. Her head's probably on a ball joint, so a single ball joint. I don't really want to move. I'm not going to try that, but she has long neck syndrome. So it turns around and look all the way down. Can't really look up because of the hair. So she's not that posable. Kind of upsetting. But I did buy her at a clearance store, so a lot of people didn't feel like getting it. I forgot to say, she has boot swivel. Let's see how tall she is. Standing up, she's a little bit under 6 inches. It's about 3/4. She's about 1.5 inches wide, which works. Supposed to be a kid, so I want to see how they all line up with each other. Just one more time, how they all scale and fit. I think height-wise they fit. Looks pretty decent. Work for what I'm planning to do with them. And let's go and see how they're gonna match up on the shelf. I have a couple figures over here of He-Man and of Thor, and I want to see if they're gonna work on the shelf for what I want. Whole reason I bought them. Let's take her off the stand. Let's throw on some He-Man characters. That King Grayskull over there. He-Man. And Fisto. Looking at it, I think it's going to work well. Definitely fits the barbarian type of look. But none of these characters really have, like, tech-looking stuff in them. They just kind of look like standard barbarians. Yes, I know Fisto has a metal arm, but I don't know, that could be considered armor. And just because I realized it's a female character and I don't have any female representation, there's a female. definitely with this like 7-inch line that these Masters of the Universes are, she's gonna fit to be a child, a kid in the line. Works. Let's remove all those. And let's throw in some Thor characters. There's Thor. There's Angela. And Loki. Let's move this up. Let's move this around. And Loki. I think she's gonna work pretty well. You know, this one looks a little bit more barbarish, so it's definitely gonna have to fit with the He-Mans a lot more than Thor's. The Thor looks very contemporary type of look. Maybe if I just take Thor out, see if that fits a little bit better. I think that fits a lot better. Yeah, Thor looks a little just too modern. But if I have some more of the quote unquote old fashioned looking Thor characters or armored barbarians, it looks good. And I'm curious, I haven't used her, lack of a better term, power staff yet. I want to see how it looks. So the spin effect looks good. Toy photographers should be more than happy with the effect. Let's see some scale. There's a NECA Turtle, McFarlane Spawn, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified Series, Star Wars Black Series, SH Figure Arts, Loyal Subject Aang, I think they scale pretty well. What other figures? This is me coming back from the future after I've filmed all of them and scaling them. Because I realized while recording, forgot to do it for all three. So, here it is. In conclusion, I think this figure is serviceable. It'll work for what I'm trying to do, but I am upset with kind of some of the stuff. The plastic kind of feels like they cheaped out on this figure. Where the, what is it, the Bobby and the Hank, or seems like they put a little bit more effort into it. You know, kind of has a long neck. The swirl, if you can see it right there. The back pieces that are like, it's a little bit easier to see off camera. Just kind of feels like they used cheaper plastic for this one. But it is what it is. For more reviews, come to the YKB. Like, share, subscribe. And I'm out. Figure works for what I'm trying to do with it.